My son signed papers that took away my freedom while I was still wearing a hospital wristband. 3 hours earlier, I'd been sitting in my kitchen in Spokane drinking coffee. Now I was staring through the window of a medical transport van at a sign that read Pine Valley Memory Care Center. Funny thing about greed, it doesn't make people smarter. It makes them sloppy. My son Ethan thought sedation erased my mind. He forgot something important. I still had one phone call. Before we go further, tell me down below, where are you watching from? And what time is it where you are right now? I always love seeing how far these stories travel. And if you enjoy real family drama stories with twists, quiet revenge, and hard-earned life lessons, subscribe and settle in. Because this one still keeps me awake some nights. People think Betrayal arrives loud. They think it kicks the front door open, raises its voice, breaks dishes, leaves obvious fingerprints behind. It doesn't. Most of the time, Betrayal shows up wearing familiar shoes. Mine drove a dark gray BMW X5 with a cracked passenger side mirror and always smelled faintly of expensive cologne and financial problems. My name is Jagger Perry. I was 68 years old when my son tried to quietly remove me from my own life. But to understand how we got there, I need you to understand something first. I wasn't helpless. I just looked like I was. I lived in Spokane, Washington, in a one-story ranch house on East Providence Avenue that my wife Diane picked out back in 1994. Diane believed in practical things. Practical furniture. Practical shoes. Practical men. Which explained 27 years of marriage. She died 5 years before all this happened. Pancreatic cancer, fast, cruel. The kind of thing that teaches you life doesn't negotiate. You adapt, or life adapts you. The house still looked mostly like Diane left it. Blue ceramic bowl by the front door. Old clock over the fireplace that ran 3 minutes slow because Diane swore it made us leave on time. Her gardening gloves still hanging in the garage. I know. Some of you understand that. You lose someone long enough and grief changes shape. It stops being a knife, becomes furniture. You live around it. Every morning at 6:30, I followed the same routine. Wake up, coffee, local news, feed the birds Diane insisted were our responsibility now. Then I'd climb into my silver 2012 Ford F-150 that had survived 2 hailstorms, 1 deer incident, and a regrettable attempt by Ethan to help fix the brakes 15 years earlier. That truck and I had history. At 7:15 sharp, I'd drive to Riverside Diner. Place sat near Monroe Street. Old booths, bad wallpaper, good bacon, excellent coffee. Linda Brooks usually arrived around 7:40. Linda was 66, owned a small bakery 3 blocks over called Sweet Maple Bakery. She'd been Diane's best friend since college. After Diane died, Linda developed a quiet habit of checking whether I was eating vegetables. I developed a quiet habit of lying about it. "Morning, Jagger," she'd say. "Morning. You eating actual food lately?" "Of course." "You put cheese on crackers and called it dinner again." "Cheese has protein. You're impossible, yet somehow lovable." "Debatable." You know those friendships life gives you after loss, the ones that don't replace what disappeared. Just make carrying it easier. Linda was that. Now here's something Ethan forgot. For 36 years, I investigated insurance fraud. People lie. Professionally, personally, financially, emotionally. My entire career involved finding inconsistencies, tiny things, timing errors, signature problems, stories that almost matched. Almost. You'd be amazed how greed changes behavior. People get impatient, sloppy, overconfident. I built a career noticing what others missed. The wrong pen used on paperwork, a receipt timestamp that didn't fit, a forged signature where muscle memory betrayed someone, paper talks. Most people don't know how to listen. I retired at 64, not because I had to, because Diane got sick, and suddenly spreadsheets and fraud investigations stopped mattering. Funny how quickly priorities reorganize themselves. Ethan was 41. My only son. construction business owner. Or technically former construction business owner. He'd built Perry Home Solutions 10 years earlier. For a while, things looked good, really good. New truck, lake vacations, expensive watches, social media photos where everybody smiled a little too hard. Then things shifted. Construction slowed, bad investments, wrong partnerships. A project in Coeur d'Alene went sideways. Another client sued. COVID years hit him harder than he'd admit. Then debt arrived, quiet at first, then hungry. You know that look people get when life starts cornering them? That tired smile. That extra confidence that feels performed. Pay attention to this next part. Because hindsight turned small details into giant warning signs, Ethan started asking questions, casual questions, too casual. Hey Dad, you ever update your will? Still got that same bank? House paid off? Did Mom ever leave separate accounts? At first, I didn't think much of it. Kids ask strange things. Adult children especially. They're old enough to worry, young enough to think they know better. Then, one Saturday afternoon, he came over while I was changing air filters. November? Cold enough to bite? He stood in my garage looking around longer than normal. Not looking. Studying. You should downsize eventually, he said. I'm fine here. Big house for one person. 2 bedrooms isn't exactly Buckingham Palace. You know what I mean. I do. He leaned against Diane's old gardening shelf. Ever think assisted living might make things easier? There it was. Small, quiet, easy to dismiss. I laughed, actually laughed. Son, I said. I rebuilt a transmission by myself in 1998. That's not... I still climb ladders. I'm just saying. You worried about me. I'm thinking long term. No, I said softly. You're thinking something. Silence, short, tight. Then he smiled, too quickly. You always think everybody's hiding something. Occupational hazard, thing is. He wasn't entirely wrong. Linda noticed, too. 3 mornings later, Riverside Diner, Booth 7, black coffee, extra bacon. Your son okay? She asked. Why? Saw him outside the bakery yesterday. Doing what? Sat in his car 10 minutes. And he looked scared. I stirred my coffee, didn't answer. Linda leaned forward. Jagger? Something's wrong? Maybe. You know something. Not yet. You think Ethan's in trouble? I think Ethan's hiding trouble. Big difference. A week later, Ethan showed up at my house around 6:30 at night, unannounced, holding takeout. Barbecue from Longhorn. My favorite. Now stay with me here. Because this mattered. Ethan hated barbecue. Always had. Said it smelled like burnt optimism. Yet suddenly he was buying dinner, smiling, relaxed, helpful. Too helpful. You doing okay, Dad? Fine. Need anything? No? You sure? Kid? Yeah. You trying to sell vitamins? He laughed, too hard. You know that laugh. The fake comfortable laugh. The laugh people use when they're standing too close to a lie. We ate dinner, talked football, talked weather, talked about absolutely nothing. Then before leaving, he looked toward my office. Just for half a second. Most people would have missed it. I didn't. My office. Where financial records lived. Legal paperwork, insurance files, tax documents, copies, backups. Organization Diane taught me. Interesting. Very interesting. That night around 11:40 p.m., I checked my front driveway camera. Habit. Former investigator, occupational damage. Nothing unusual. Just snow beginning to settle. Streetlights glowing. Quiet neighborhood. Peaceful. But the next morning, at exactly 7:14 a.m., my son Ethan Perry arrived carrying coffee. And that's where everything started. Part 3. At exactly 7:14 a.m., Ethan Perry stood on my front porch holding coffee and acting like a man trying very hard to look normal. You know that look. People think lying makes someone avoid eye contact. Not true. Good liars make too much eye contact. My son smiled when I opened the door. Dad. You're early. Brought breakfast. That alone deserved suspicion. Ethan Perry showing up before 8 in the morning voluntarily was like seeing a bear file taxes. Cold November air slipped into the house behind him. He stepped inside, carrying a cardboard drink tray and a paper bag with grease spots soaking through the bottom. I got Riverside, he said. You drove across town for diner food? Figured I'd surprise you. Should I call the police? Very funny. No, not funny. Strange. Very strange. He set everything on the kitchen counter. 2 drinks, 2 sandwiches. I noticed immediately. My coffee order. Large black coffee. No sugar? No cream. Exactly right. Now stay with me here. Because details matter. Ethan had never remembered my coffee order. Not once. 20 years ago, he bought me a vanilla latte and said, "Coffee is coffee." I stared at the cup, looked back at him. You okay? He asked. Fine. You look tired. I woke up 10 minutes ago. He laughed. Too quickly. Again. That laugh, that overcompensation. I opened the sandwich wrapper. Egg, cheddar, sausage, Riverside Diner logo. Normal. Coffee smelled normal. Everything looked normal. That's the dangerous thing about bad decisions. They rarely announce themselves. You heading somewhere today? Ethan asked. No. Linda's still making you buy those cinnamon rolls. Linda doesn't make me do anything. How's your knee? Old. You should get it checked. It's arthritis. You sure? Ethan. What? Spit it out. Nothing. Silence. He sat down across from me. Phone face down, leg bouncing, small detail. My son bounced his leg when stressed. Did it before football games in high school. Did it before asking a girl to prom. Did it before telling me his construction company lost $80,000 on a commercial roofing contract 3 years earlier. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Construction slowing? I asked. A little. How bad? Not bad. How bad? He rubbed his jaw. Fine. Fine means bad. We're okay. We? Me. There it was. A crack. Tiny. But cracks matter. I took a sip of coffee. Bitter, strong, normal, or close enough. You need money? I asked. No. Need help? No. Need advice? Not everybody needs advice. Everybody needs advice. I said we're okay. Sharp. Too sharp. He immediately softened. Sorry. It's all right. No, I'm just stressed. Business? Business. I nodded. Didn't push. Former investigators learned something eventually. Silence reveals more than pressure. He stayed another 15 minutes, talked football, talked weather, talked absolutely nothing. Then he stood. I should go. Okay? Love you, Dad. Love you too. He hesitated. Tiny hesitation, almost invisible. Then, you doing all right living alone? There it was again. Living alone. Questions about age. Questions about health. Questions about capability. I manage. Maybe too much. I rebuilt half this house. You're 68. And nothing. No, say it. You don't have to prove stuff anymore. I looked at him. Really looked. My boy. 41 years old. Hair getting thinner. Lines around his eyes. Stress wearing grooves into his face. Scared. Not evil. Scared. There's a difference. Sometimes. He left. BMW pulling away at 7:52. I watched from the window. Cold coffee still sitting beside me. Kitchen quiet. House breathing that empty kind of silence grief leaves behind. I cleaned dishes, fed birds, read half the newspaper. Around 8:41. Something felt wrong. Not dramatic, not movie wrong. Subtle. Pressure behind my eyes. Lightheaded. I stood up. Bad idea. Room tilted sideways. My hand caught the kitchen counter. Huh. I sat down. Waited. Maybe blood sugar, maybe dehydration, maybe age finally collecting overdue payment. 5 minutes, no improvement. Actually worse. My fingers felt heavy. Vision slightly blurry. Cold sweat. Now, I need you to understand something. 36 years investigating fraud teaches pattern recognition. And patterns don't only exist in paperwork, they exist in life. My brain started connecting dots, too quickly. Coffee, Ethan, questions, stress, timing. No. No. Impossible. I stood again. Room spun harder. Kitchen floor suddenly farther away than normal. Damn! I grabbed my phone. Linda, call failed. Hand shaking. Tried again. Nothing. Screen blurred. Heart beating harder now. Fear, not panic. Fear, real difference. My phone rang. Ethan. My stomach dropped. Hello? Hey, Dad. Voice calm. Too calm. You all right? What? You sound weird. You okay? I'm dizzy. Pause. Tiny pause. Then. I'm coming. No. I'm already nearby. Nearby. At 9:08 in the morning. 32 minutes after leaving. Nearby. I hung up. Sat still. Brain working. Trying. Fighting through fog. 22 minutes later, headlights. BMW. Door opening. Fast footsteps. Dad. Kitchen. Concerned expression, too prepared, too immediate. I think something's wrong, I said. We're going to Sacred Heart. I'm okay? No. Ethan. No arguments. Strong voice. Urgent. Helpful. Perfect son. Too perfect. I'll drive. I can... No. My knees buckled slightly. Truth, I needed help. And that's what made it dangerous. Need creates trust. Trust creates openings. Cold November air hit my face walking outside. My silver Ford truck sat untouched. Ethan guided me toward his BMW, hand firm on my shoulder. Protective. Caring. Anyone watching would have thought good son helping aging father, including me. Part of me. Small part. Still wanted another explanation. Traffic blurred. Division Street lights passing. People living normal mornings. Woman walking dog. School crossing guard. Teenager carrying skateboard. Ordinary life. Strange thing. Disaster always feels offensive. How dare the world stay normal? You ate anything weird? Ethan asked. No. Medication, no. Head hurt, no. You confused. There, that word. Confused. Small, quiet, sharp. No. You sure? Oh, I'm dizzy. You've been forgetting stuff lately. I turned slowly. What? Little things. No. Names. No. Appointments. No. You're stressed. No. He gripped steering wheel tighter. Jaw tight, eyes forward. Sacred Heart Medical Center appeared ahead. Large brick building, bright windows, normal hospital. Safe place. Supposed to be. Stay with me here, Ethan said quietly. Strange phrase. Wrong phrase, not his phrase. Mine. Something cold moved through my chest. Something deeper than fear. Recognition. Pattern recognition. Because suddenly, very suddenly, my son didn't look scared. He looked committed. And that frightened me more than anything. Sacred Heart. Medical center always smelled the same. Coffee, disinfectant, stress. Hospitals carry stress differently than other places. Restaurants smell like food. Hardware stores smell like lumber and dust. Hospitals smell like people waiting for answers they may not want. Ethan parked near the emergency entrance. Cold air hit me hard stepping out. Too hard. My balance still felt wrong. Not terrible. Not falling down terrible. Just enough to make me doubt myself. And doubt is dangerous, especially when somebody wants you uncertain. You good? Ethan asked. No. Can you walk? Yes. You sure? Stop asking me that. He forced a smile. Sorry. Automatic doors opened. Warm air, bright lights, people moving quickly. A woman holding tissues beside a vending machine. Teenage kid wearing a basketball hoodie with his arm in a sling. Older man sleeping awkwardly in a waiting room chair. Life happening. Normal. Ordinary. Which somehow made what was happening to me feel even stranger. Reception, paperwork, questions, name, date of birth, medication, emergency contact. Ethan answered faster than I could. Too fast. Jagger Perry, February 11th, 1958. Correct. Blood pressure medication. Correct. Arthritis. Correct. Any recent confusion? The receptionist asked. Ethan answered. A little. I looked at him. What? Just tell them. Tell them what? You forgot Linda's birthday. No, I didn't. You called me Mike last week. I absolutely did not. The receptionist kept typing, not looking at us. Dangerous thing. People trust information delivered confidently, even when it's wrong. We sat. 9:54 a.m. Waiting room television playing morning news nobody watched. My dizziness had eased slightly, enough that my brain started working harder. Coffee, timing, symptoms, questions. Something didn't fit. I pulled my phone out. Battery 23%. Linda, call. No answer. Strange, text. Need to talk. Something feels wrong. Send. Nothing. No response. Ethan noticed. You texting Linda? Yes. You worry her too much. I'll decide that. He leaned back, crossed his arms, leg bouncing again, bounce, bounce, bounce. My old instincts kept pulling at me. Patterns, behavior, pressure. A nurse finally called my name. Small exam room. Blood pressure. Questions. Light in my eyes. Reflex tests. Normal enough. Doctor came in around 10:31. Mid-40s. Tired eyes. Kind voice. Badge said Dr. Rebecca Langford. What brings you in today, Mr. Perry? Dizziness. When did it start? This morning. Nausea? No. Chest pain? No. Shortness of breath? No. Any confusion lately? Before I could answer, Ethan leaned forward. Some! I turned, slowly. What are you doing? Dr. Langford looked between us. Mr. Perry? I'm fine. Dad? No. Doctor waited. Professional. Careful. I've noticed changes, Ethan said quietly. My stomach tightened. Forgetfulness? No. Confusion? No. Repeating stories? Everybody repeats stories. He got lost driving last month. No, I missed an exit. He forgets appointments. One appointment. He struggles sometimes. No. Doctor nodded slowly. Writing notes. Notes matter. I need you to understand something. Words become records. Records become assumptions. Assumptions become decisions. I spent 36 years watching paperwork quietly reshape reality. A fraud claim becomes denied. A signature becomes evidence. A sentence becomes truth, if enough people write it down. Mr. Perry, Dr. Langford said gently, have you noticed memory changes? No. Difficulty concentrating? No. Managing finances? I've managed finances longer than you've been alive. She smiled politely, not insulted. Professional. You live alone? Yes. Support system. Friends. Family. My son. Ethan lowered his eyes. Perfect timing. Perfect performance. I saw it, and suddenly something ugly moved inside my chest. Not certainty, suspicion. Real suspicion. Tests followed. Blood work, vitals, more waiting. Long enough for your brain to start chasing itself. By noon, my dizziness returned. Harder. Heavy. Fog. Nurse came back. We're going to give you something to help you relax. Relax. Your blood work looks okay so far? I'm not anxious. Just standard support. Something cold slid through me. No, not cold. Recognition. Recognition feels cold. I looked toward Ethan. He avoided eye contact. First time all day. Interesting. Very interesting. What medication? I asked. Nurse explained. Fast, clinical, professional. My head hurt. Focus slipping. Harder to process. Ethan stepped closer. It's okay. No, it wasn't. I looked directly at him. Really looked. 41 years old. My son. Little boy who once cried because he stepped on a frog accidentally. Teenager who broke his wrist skateboarding near Manitou Park. 23-year-old man who sat beside Diane during chemotherapy and refused to leave. Good people can do terrible things. That's what nobody tells you. Villains aren't usually villains. Mostly they're scared people making selfish choices. Medication entered IV. Warm feeling. Heavy feeling. Too heavy. You'll feel sleepy, nurse said. I don't want... Words slowing. Thoughts slowing. No. Fight it. Former investigator, stay sharp. Stay voices blurred. Room softer somehow. Edges dull. Ethan sitting nearby. Phone in hand. Texting, working, planning. Or maybe I imagined it. Maybe. Funny thing. When your brain loses certainty, other people gain power. I drifted. Time disappeared. Dreams. Half-dreams. Diane laughing. Linda yelling because I forgot vegetables again. Ford truck, snow, hospital lights, darkness, wake, sleep, wake, pieces, fragments. At one point, voices outside curtain. Male voice. Ethan. Female voice. Nurse, maybe. He needs more support. He lives alone. He's declined recently. Declined. That word. Sharp. Dangerous. Wrong. I tried sitting up. Heavy. Body slower than mind. Hate that feeling. Hate it. Years ago, I investigated a fraud case involving a man forging disability claims. Know what he said? People believe weakness faster than strength. I never forgot that. My eyes opened again later. No idea what time. Hospital room darker, quieter, different. My wristband scratched lightly against blanket. Head heavy, thoughts swimming. Ethan stood near window, looking outside. Hands in pockets. Still. Very still. Ethan? He turned immediately. Too immediately. Dad? What time? Almost 5. 5. 5 hours gone. Lost, missing. Fear arrived then. Real fear, clean, cold. What happened? You rested. Tests. Everything's okay. Then why am I still here? Doctor wants observation. Observation. Another word, another record, another step. I want to go home. We'll see. No, wrong answer, wrong tone, wrong everything. We'll see, I repeated. You need help. No. Dad. No. His face changed, briefly, small crack. Impatience. There you are. Not worried, son, not scared, son, tired, son, frustrated, son, cornered, son. And suddenly, for the first time all day, I became absolutely certain. Something was very wrong. Not with me, with him. And I had a terrible feeling I was already too late. People imagine betrayal feels explosive when you finally see it. It doesn't. It feels quiet. Like standing alone in a familiar room and realizing someone moved the furniture while you weren't looking. I barely slept that night. Hospital beds aren't built for sleeping. They're built for waiting. Waiting for answers. Waiting for pain medication. Waiting for test results. Waiting for life to decide something. At 2:17 a.m., according to the clock glowing red across the room, I opened my eyes. Dark hospital ceiling. Machines humming softly. Footsteps outside. My mouth dry. Head clearer. Not perfect. Clearer. And clarity changes things. The dizziness had mostly faded. Not completely. Enough. Enough for the investigator part of my brain to wake back up. You spend 36 years finding lies. You don't retire from it. Your paycheck retires. Your instincts don't. I sat up slowly. No spinning room. No confusion. No fog. Interesting. Very interesting. I reached for my phone. Battery 11%. One text. Linda, call me when you can. Timestamp, 11:42 p.m. Hours ago. I stared at it. Linda never texted that late. Never. Something cold settled inside me. Not panic, pattern recognition. Again. I opened recent messages. My text earlier. Need to talk. Something feels wrong. Delivered. No reply until late. Strange. I called. Straight to voicemail. Twice, 3 times. Nothing. I hate voicemail. Voicemail feels like knocking on a locked door. At 6:38 a.m., Ethan walked in carrying coffee again. Coffee. Funny. That almost made me laugh. You look better, he said. I feel better. Good. He sounded disappointed. Tiny thing. Tiny, but real. Hospital light spilled across his face. He looked exhausted. Wrinkled shirt, dark circles under his eyes, stubble, stress, guilt, fear, all 3. Doctor said everything looked okay, he said. Good. They're still worried. About what? You living alone. There, again, same road, different angle. I watched him carefully. Who's worried? The doctors? No. What? No, they're not. Dad, I know how hospitals work. I know how hospitals work. Silence, longer this time. Then, they think maybe more support would help. Support, support, support. Interesting word. Corporate word. Legal word. Not family language. I don't need support. You shouldn't have to do everything yourself. I don't. You're getting older. We all are. That's not what I mean. I know. Truth. Part of me wanted him to say it, out loud. Say whatever plan lived inside his head. But people doing wrong things rarely announce them. They justify, reframe, rename. Control becomes help. Greed becomes concern. Manipulation becomes protection. You know Mom worried about you, Ethan said quietly. That made me angry. Real anger. Rare thing. Diane worried about everybody. You know what I mean. No? You do? No. He rubbed his forehead. Tired, cornered, scared, again. Not evil. Scared. Dangerous difference. Dr. Rebecca Langford came around 8:20. Smile, clipboard, professional calm. Good morning, Mr. Perry. Morning. Feeling better? Much? Dizziness improved? Yes. Excellent. She checked notes, vitals, routine. We'd like social services to talk with you. There it was. I felt Ethan go still beside me. Social services. Not normal. Not after improving. Not after clean tests. Something tightened inside my chest. Why? I asked. Just making sure support systems are in place. Support, again. Interesting. Very interesting. Woman arrived around 9:05. Karen Mitchell, hospital social worker, early 50s, kind eyes, professional voice, folder in hand. Folders matter. Always watch folders. Mr. Perry, she said gently, we just want to make sure you're safe. Safe. Another word, another brick. Build enough bricks, people build a wall around your independence. Questions followed. Routine. Normal. Mostly. Who helps with groceries? Me. Medication. Me. Driving. Me. Bills. Me. Financial decisions? Me. Any confusion recently? No. Falls? No. Missed appointments? No. Ethan shifted beside me. I noticed. Of course I noticed. Mr. Perry, Karen said carefully. Your son expressed concerns. There, finally, straight. What concerns? I asked. Memory. No. Isolation. No. Safety. No. Managing daily tasks. No. Karen looked uncomfortable. Good. Because something wasn't adding up. My old instincts kept scratching. Wrong timing, wrong escalation, wrong pace. People don't jump from dizziness to social intervention overnight. Unless groundwork already exists. Groundwork. I looked toward Ethan. And suddenly, very suddenly, I knew. Preparation. This didn't start yesterday. Or last week. This had been moving longer. Much longer. Meeting ended. Karen left. Doctor left. Silence. Ethan? No answer. Ethan. What? What did you tell them? Truth. No. Truth. No. You've been struggling. No. You forget things. No. No. Silence. His jaw tightened. Eyes wet suddenly. Unexpected. Real. I can't keep doing this, he said quietly. Doing what? 3 words. 3 dangerous words. Doing what? Worrying. I'm not helpless. I didn't say helpless. You implied helpless. No. Then say it. Silence. Long, heavy. Then, I think you need help. No anger, no yelling, no villain speech, just exhaustion. Truth that scared me more. Because scared people convince themselves terrible choices are kindness. You think putting words in hospital files makes it true? I asked quietly. His eyes flickered. There. What's that supposed to mean? I investigated fraud 36 years. Dad. People build stories. Stop. They repeat stories. Stop. They document stories. Dad. And eventually everybody believes stories. You think I'm lying? I looked at him. Really looked. 41. My son. Broken somewhere. Hurting somewhere. And making choices from that hurt. Worst kind. I think, I said carefully. You're scared. His face changed. Brief, sharp, pain, real pain. You have no idea, he whispered. Then he walked out. Door closed, quiet room, hospital sounds, my own breathing, and suddenly a memory. Small, fast. 3 weeks earlier. Bank statement, home equity advertisement, kitchen conversation, questions. House paid off, savings will no. My chest tightened. House, money, debt. I grabbed my phone. Battery 6%. Opened banking app. Password loading, slow, come on. Account normal, savings normal. Checking normal. Nothing obvious. But something else. Notification. Voicemail. Missed earlier. Unknown number. Playback. Mr. Perry, this is Melissa Carter from Spokane Community Credit Union. Just following up regarding requested documentation. Please call us back. Requested documentation. My blood went cold. I never requested documentation, never. Not recently, not ever. And suddenly, everything snapped together. Not proof, not yet. But direction, pattern, motive. Greed doesn't make people smarter. Makes them impatient, sloppy, careless. I stared toward the hospital window. Gray Spokane sky, cars moving below, normal world, ordinary morning. Then Ethan came back, holding paperwork. And for the first time I saw fear in his eyes. Not fear for me, fear of me. And that changed everything. Part 6. Fear changes people. Not always into monsters. Sometimes into accountants. People making quiet calculations. Risk versus reward. What can I gain? What can I justify? What can I live with afterward? I watched Ethan stand near the hospital window, holding paperwork he clearly didn't want me reading. White forms, blue logo across the top, multiple pages, paper clipped, neat, prepared. Too prepared. What's that? I asked. Nothing. Nothing usually doesn't come stapled. It's discharge information. Give it here. You should rest. Ethan. Something moved behind his eyes. Not anger, decision, dangerous thing. The moment somebody stops arguing and starts executing. I've been trying to help, he said quietly. Then help. I am. No. Silence, heavy, thick, hospital quiet wrapped around us. You think I'm stupid? I asked. No? You think age made me blind? No. Then stop treating me like I can't see. His jaw tightened. 41 years old. Still did that when cornered. Same look he had at 16 after backing my truck into Diane's mailbox. Same look after wrecking his dirt bike near Liberty Lake. Same look when he failed his contractor licensing exam the first time. Cornered, embarrassed, scared. I can't keep watching this happen, he said. Watching what? You alone. I'm fine. No. I'm fine. No. Sharp, hard, immediate. We stared at each other. Two men, both stubborn. One scared of losing control. One scared he'd already lost it. Dr. Langford came back around noon. Professional smile, clipboard, gentle voice. We're ready to discharge you. Good, finally. Then, we've also discussed additional support options. There it was. Again, support, support, support. Funny word, harmless word. Weaponized enough, it becomes a cage. What support options? I asked. Doctor glanced briefly toward Ethan. Small movement, tiny movement. People think investigators solve cases from giant clues. No. Tiny clues. Eye movement, hesitation, timing. We discussed transitional care resources, she said. What resources? Assisted living evaluation. No, absolutely not. Mr. Perry. No. We're only discussing... No. Doctor stayed calm. Professional. Kind. That somehow made it worse. You've expressed concerns about dizziness, she said. One morning? Your son expressed, my son isn't me. Silence. Long. Tight. You have every right to refuse recommendations, Dr. Langford said carefully. Relief. Good. Then, however, dangerous word. However, if family members have safety concerns, we encourage further evaluation. Family members, plural. Interesting, plural, not singular, which meant paper trail, discussions, conversations. Before today, way before today. My stomach tightened, hard. I looked directly at Ethan. How long? No answer. How long? Dad? How long? His eyes dropped. Not good at all. Months, he whispered. Months. Funny thing. Sometimes betrayal doesn't hurt immediately. Sometimes it arrives delayed, brain protecting itself. Then suddenly, impact. Months. He'd been building something, planning something, talking, documenting, months. I thought about the questions. The house, the bank, the concern, the support, the assisted living comments. Not random. Never random. Pattern. Always pattern. I stood slowly. Doctor moved slightly. Instinct. Ready to steady me. I don't need help standing, I said quietly. Mr. Perry, I'm leaving. Jagger, Ethan said. No, not Dad. Jagger, bad sign. Real bad sign. I said I'm leaving. Cold November air hit hard outside the hospital entrance. Gray sky, clouds low over Spokane, parking lot wet from early rain, life moving, people carrying coffee, nurses changing shifts. Ordinary world, extraordinary day. Ethan followed me. Dad. No answer. Please. No answer. Talk to me. I stopped near his BMW. Turned. Really looked at him. How much debt? His face changed instantly. There it is. Truth doesn't always answer. Sometimes it reacts. What? How much? You don't know what? How much? Silence. Wind moving across pavement. Traffic humming nearby. Hospital automatic doors opening behind us. 280,000, he said quietly. I stared. Construction business. Failed contracts. Loans, credit, pressure. Pressure turns good people dangerous. Not evil. Dangerous. How bad? I asked quietly. Bad. Lawsuits. 1. Late payments? No answer. Ethan? Yes. Late payments? Yes. House. Pause. Long. Painful. Refinanced. Car. Pause. Behind. Credit cards. No answer. Didn't need one. Truth already standing there. Cold, ugly, human? I would have helped, I said quietly. I know. No. You don't. I would have helped. I know. Then why? His eyes filled. Actually filled. 41 years old. Standing in hospital parking lot, breaking apart. You always say no. That hit harder than expected. You always say fix it yourself. I taught responsibility. You taught pride. Wind moved between us. Cold, sharp, painful. I was drowning, he said quietly. You never said. I tried. No. I did. No. I did. Silence. Long silence. Maybe he believed that. Maybe I missed things. Parents miss things. Children hide things. Families break quietly. Then one day nobody remembers where the crack started. I didn't know what else to do, he whispered. Lie. Not complete lie. Worst kind, half true, always harder. What paperwork? I asked. He froze. What paperwork? Nothing. Bad sign. Very bad sign. Ethan. It's temporary. My chest tightened. Cold, deep, dangerous cold. What is temporary? No answer. Ethan. Support. No. Evaluation. No. Just until... No. Then something happened. Tiny thing. Tiny. Everything changed. His phone buzzed. Screen lit. He glanced down. Reflex. Automatic. Human. I saw enough. Enough. Notification preview. One line, one sentence, one mistake. Pine Valley Memory Care confirmed intake. Tomorrow, 1:0 p.m. Tomorrow? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. Not concern, plan, not evaluation, execution, already scheduled, already moving, already happening. Months, paperwork, social worker, hospital. Narrative. Support. Memory concerns. Safety concerns. Isolation. All roads leading somewhere. And suddenly I knew exactly where. I looked up slowly. At my son. My only son. 41 years old. Scared. Desperate. Broken. And doing something unforgivable. You're putting me in a facility, I said quietly. No. Don't. Dad. Don't. It's temporary. Don't. Tears. Actual tears. Real. Human. Complicated. I was trying to save everything, he whispered. House, money, debt, life, image, control, everything. Funny thing about greed. People tell themselves noble stories, protection, support, concern, love, until eventually they forget what they're actually doing. I stepped backward. Cold rain starting now, light, sharp, November rain. I need to make a phone call, I said quietly. And for the first time I saw real fear enter Ethan Perry's face. Fear has a smell. Nobody talks about that. Hospitals smell like disinfectant. Old diners smell like coffee and grease. Fear smells like cold rain, wet pavement, and somebody trying too hard to stay calm. November rain slid down Ethan's dark jacket while we stood outside Sacred Heart Medical Center. Cars moved through the parking lot. Life kept going. Always does. Funny thing about life, it never pauses to respect your disaster. Dad, no. Please just listen, no. I was trying to help. No! My voice came out sharper than I expected. Not loud, sharp, different. Ethan stopped talking. Good. I needed quiet, because quiet lets you think. And thinking was finally catching up. Months, paperwork, hospital conversations, memory concerns, support options, facility intake. Not a bad idea born yesterday. Not panic. Planning. Real planning. My phone sat cold in my hand. Battery 3%. Linda. I pressed call, straight voicemail, again. No answer. Rain hit harder now, cold drops sliding down my neck. I called again. Voicemail. Damn it, Linda. Ethan watched. Nervous? Good. Let him feel nervous. I needed him nervous. Former investigators learned something important. People reveal truth faster when uncertainty scares them. You talked to lawyers? I asked quietly. No? Lie. Immediate lie. Too immediate. You talked to somebody? I was trying to understand options. What options? You living safely? No. Dad? No. I worry. No. You fell today? I got dizzy. You scared me. You drugged me. Silence. Rain. Traffic. Silence again, then what? Soft. Dangerous soft. You heard me. Dad? You drugged me. I didn't. Coffee? No. Timing? No. Symptoms? No. 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 He looked horrified. Actually horrified. Interesting. Either great acting or truth. Problem with investigations. You can't marry theory too early. Bad investigators decide first, good investigators verify. I slowed down. Forced myself. Facts? Only facts. Coffee, symptoms, hospital, sedation. But blood work, normal. Doctor, normal. No proof, no certainty. Don't get emotional, get accurate. 36 years taught me that. I didn't drug you, Ethan said quietly. Rain slid down his face. Didn't know if it was rain anymore. Didn't matter. I swear. Something ugly happened then. Something complicated. I believed him. Partially. Enough to hesitate. And hesitation matters. You scheduled Pine Valley, I said. Yes. Before today. Yes. Months, yes, without telling me. Yes. Truth finally arriving. Late, ugly, honest. I thought if I told you, I would have said no. Yes. Because it's my life. You weren't thinking clearly. There it is. No. There it is. Dad? No. His shoulders dropped. Deflated, 41. Suddenly looking 14. Patricia said, everything stopped. Patricia? Who the hell was Patricia? Who? Silence. Bad. Very bad. Ethan. Patricia Sloan. Lawyer, lawyer, lawyer. My stomach tightened hard. What lawyer? Elder planning. No. No. You don't understand. No. She said no. Funny thing about anger. Real anger gets quiet. Dangerously quiet. I stared at my son. Rain, cold, gray Spokane sky hanging low. You hired an elder law attorney? No. You consulted one? Silence. You brought lawyers into this? I needed help. You needed money. His eyes shut. There. Truth. Ugly. Human. Real. Not monster. Not villain. Worse. Family. I was drowning, he whispered. $280,000. No answer. Construction loans. No answer. Late payments. No answer. Lawsuit. No answer. You thought the house fixed everything. Nothing. Because truth was standing between us already. My house, paid off. Nearly $700,000 in equity. Savings, retirement, investments. Not rich, comfortable. Enough. Enough to look like rescue. Funny thing. People drowning eventually stop looking for life preservers. They start grabbing people. Battery 2%. Linda. One more try. Ring, 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 Jagger. Finally. Linda. Jagger, where are you? Sacred Heart. What happened? Long story. I've been calling. My phone died. Something happened. Yes. I know. I froze. Cold, sharp, dangerous cold. What? Your garage. Rain suddenly louder, everything louder. What about it? Someone was in there. My chest tightened, hard. When? Last night. No, no, no. I checked your driveway camera. My driveway camera. Ford dealership promotion years ago. Installed it myself. Former investigator. Occupational damage. What'd you see? Silence. Too much silence. Linda. Ethan. World stopped. Rain, cars, hospital, everything stopped. When? 11:38 p.m. Hospital, coffee, questions, planning, garage, no. What did he take? I don't know. My breathing changed. Investigator brain, working, fast now. Garage, office, files, documents, house records, bank paperwork, power of attorney, will, insurance records, backups. No, not backups. Wait. Diane? Blue folder. Garage workbench. No, not folder. Other place. Other backup. Think. You there? Linda said. Yes. You okay? No. Rain hit harder, cold enough now to hurt. Jagger, listen carefully. Okay. Go to my house. What? Garage. Jagger? Linda. Voice different now. Focused. Former investigator voice, working voice, old voice. She heard it immediately. Tell me. Workbench? Okay. Bottom cabinet? Okay. Metal toolbox? Okay. Behind it. Silence. Jagger? There's a key. What key? Storage locker. Storage locker. Diane made me keep backups. Long silence. Then, oh. Yeah. Oh. Diane Perry, 3rd grade teacher, organized enough to frighten accountants. 5 years before cancer took her, she made me duplicate everything. Scans, legal records, estate paperwork, trust documents, copies. Copies of copies. Because Diane believed something deeply. People make bad decisions when scared. God, Diane. You still there? Linda asked. Yeah. What am I looking for? Blue archive box. What's in it? Everything. Rain rolled down my face, cold, sharp, alive. Ethan stood 10 feet away, watching. Scared now. Really scared. Good. Because suddenly, for the first time since this started, I wasn't reacting anymore. I was investigating, and Ethan Perry had made the biggest mistake greedy people always make. He thought removing the man removed the system. It didn't. Not even close. Linda? Yeah? One more thing. What? Check the driveway camera backup. Silence, then, oh no. Exactly, oh no. Because if Ethan entered my garage, I had a feeling my son accidentally recorded the beginning of his own downfall. You learn strange things getting older. One of them is this panic burns energy. Focus preserves it. 10 minutes earlier, I had been standing in cold Spokane rain, feeling like my world had cracked open under my feet. Now my brain had shifted gears. Fear out, work mode in, former investigator mode. The version of me Ethan forgot existed. Dad? I looked up. Ethan still standing near his BMW, rain darkening his jacket, face pale, hands shoved into his pockets. He looked tired. Not dangerous. Not evil. Tired. Desperate. Those people can still destroy your life. Never forget that. I'm going home, I said. You shouldn't. I'm going. Dad. No. You need. I know exactly what I need. I walked toward the parking lot. Slow, steady. Body still heavy from the hospital medication. Head clearer. Not perfect. Clear enough. Your truck's still at home, Ethan said. I know. I'll drive. No. It's raining. No. Dad. No. Silence. Then, fine. Interesting. Very interesting. People pushing control, hate losing it. And Ethan, for the first time, had lost some. I called Linda back. Battery 1%. Dad, Ethan said. I ignored him. Jagger, Linda answered. You there? At your house. Garage. Yep. You find it. Silence. Good silence. Working silence. I found the blue archive box. Good. What else? The camera backup drive. Good. What else? Silence. Longer this time. Not good. Linda. Jagger. What? I found paperwork. Cold. Sharp. Dangerous cold. What paperwork? I think loan documents. No. Read. Home equity inquiry. My jaw tightened. Hard. Date. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks. Not yesterday. Not panic. Planning. Real planning. What name? Silence. Linda. Your name. Of course. You know what's funny? People committing fraud almost always make the same mistake. They think paperwork creates ownership. It doesn't. Paperwork creates evidence. Evidence works both ways. What else? More silence. Longer. Worse. Linda. Power of attorney forms. Everything stopped. Cars, rain, breathing, everything. Power of attorney. No. What date? 2 weeks ago. Unsigned. Please, unsigned. Signed, Linda whispered. No, signed. My signature. No. I closed my eyes. Thought. Hard. Power of attorney. Wait, no, wrong signature. My hand changed last year. Arthritis, finger stiffness. Diane used to tease me. Your signature looks like a tired spider fell into ink. I changed it. Small adjustment, cleaner, simpler. Bank updated, attorney updated, everything updated. Small detail. Tiny detail. Former investigators survive on tiny details. Linda? Yeah. Take pictures. Already doing it. Every page. Done. Call Patricia Sloan. Silence. What? Patricia Sloan. Ethan's lawyer. No. What? No. Truth, I almost smiled. Tiny, cold, satisfied smile. Patricia Sloan wasn't Ethan's lawyer. She'd handled Diane's estate paperwork years ago. She specialized in elder financial protection. I'd used her before, twice, because Diane trusted nobody completely, including life. You know Patricia? Linda asked. Very well. Battery died. Phone black. Done. Perfect timing. I looked up. Gray Spokane sky. Cold November rain. Ethan standing 30 feet away. Watching. Waiting. No idea. No idea at all. Good. I walked toward the curb. Taxi stand. Hospital shuttle traffic. People moving. Life moving. Always moving. You're scaring me, Ethan said quietly. I turned slowly. Good. Be scared. Now imagine how I feel. Silence. Heavy. Sharp. Dad. No. I made mistakes. Yes. I panicked. Yes. I thought. That's the problem. What? You thought. Wind moved through the parking lot. Cold enough now my knee hurt. Arthritis. November always won eventually. A cab pulled up. Older driver, gray beard, mariner's cap. You need ride? He asked. Yep. Ethan stepped forward. Dad, please. I looked at him. Really looked. 41. Scared. Broken. Still my son. God help me. Still my son. You know the worst part? I asked quietly. What? You never asked. What? You never asked for help. His eyes lowered. Because he knew. I would have sold my truck, I said. Silence. I would have helped. Silence. I would have stood beside you. Silence. But you built paperwork. His shoulders dropped. Smaller somehow. Human. Painfully human. And that's the hard thing. People want villains. Real life gives you damaged people making selfish choices. Taxi heater felt like heaven. Warm air. Old coffee smell. Country music low on radio. Driver glanced back. Hospital all right? No. You all right? No. Want quiet? Please. Good man. Best kind. No questions. Just kindness. 42 minutes later, my house. East Providence Avenue. Gray sky, wet driveway. Silver Ford truck still sitting where I left it. Home. Should have felt safe. Didn't. Linda stood under the garage overhang wearing a green rain jacket and holding enough paperwork to start a small legal war. "You look terrible," she said. "You look judgmental." "I am judgmental." "Fair." She hugged me. Quick, strong, human, funny. Sometimes strength doesn't come from fighting. Sometimes it comes from people refusing to let you fight alone. Garage smelled like motor oil. Cold metal, sawdust, memory, Diane's old gardening shelf, workbench, storage cabinet, life, my life. Linda handed me papers, loan inquiry, power of attorney, bank documentation, copies, scans, dates, signatures. My signature. Wrong. Immediately wrong. Tiny angle difference. Letter P. Pressure pattern, line speed, no hesitation marks. Whoever copied it copied old versions. Not current. Rookie mistake. Greedy mistake. Arrogant mistake. And then the driveway footage. 11:38 p.m. Screen grainy, dark. Truck headlights across wet pavement. Garage door opening. Ethan, alone, entering. 12 minutes inside. Leaving. Holding folder. Timestamp clear, perfect. Not criminal. Not proof. But context. Context matters. Linda watched my face. Jagger. You okay? No. You gonna yell? No. Cry? No. Break something? No. Need pie? I looked up. What? I brought peach pie. Silence. Then, for the first time in nearly 24 hours, I laughed. Actual laugh. God, I needed that. Linda. Yeah. You're ridiculous. Correct. Kitchen, coffee, pie, rain-tapping windows. Paperwork spread across Diane's old table. War planning, quiet war. Linda sat beside me, reading, watching, thinking. What now? She asked. Former investigator brain working, fast, methodical patterns, evidence, weak points, motives. And then something clicked, hard, fast. Spokane Community Credit Union, Melissa Carter, voicemail, documentation. Bank, not house. Bank. Ethan's not finished, I said quietly. What? He's still moving. What does that mean? I looked toward the paperwork. Power of attorney, loan inquiry, debt, pressure. No, not finished. Greedy people don't stop at preparation, they execute. I stood immediately, grabbed keys. Jagger? He hasn't hit the bank yet. What? He thinks I'm weak. What? He thinks he's ahead. What? I grabbed my jacket, heart beating harder now, focused, sharp, alive, former investigator back, and Ethan Perry had absolutely no idea. His biggest mistake wasn't trying to take control. It was giving me enough time to think. Part 9. People think revenge feels hot. Angry, explosive, they're wrong. Real revenge, the quiet kind, feels cold. Precise. Patient. Like setting a clock and waiting for time to do its job. By 6:42 the next morning, I was sitting inside Spokane Community Credit Union, wearing my old navy flannel jacket, holding terrible coffee in a paper cup that tasted vaguely like regret. Linda sat beside me. Patricia Sloan sat across from us. 58 years old. Silver-framed glasses. Sharp eyes. The kind of person who could destroy your legal argument while politely asking how your grandchildren were doing. She finished reviewing paperwork. Power of attorney forms, loan inquiry, copies, dates, driveway footage, hospital timeline, everything. Then she folded her hands. Jagger? Yeah. Your son made mistakes. I noticed. No. She adjusted her glasses. I mean serious mistakes. Good. Talk to me. The signature is wrong. I know. The dates are aggressive. I know. The hospital documentation concerns me. Me too. Linda leaned forward. What does that mean? Patricia looked toward her. It means if someone creates a narrative of diminished capacity while simultaneously attempting financial control. English, Linda said. Patricia nodded. Bad. Good. I preferred bad. Bad meant vulnerable. Bad meant careless. Bad meant Ethan Perry still thought he was ahead. Melissa Carter entered the office 2 minutes later. 52. Regional branch manager. Professional. Calm. Former military. Diane liked her. Said Melissa had the face of somebody who reads contracts before signing them. Diane respected suspicious people. Mr. Perry, Melissa said carefully. Melissa? You should have called sooner. I know. She sat, opened folders, read quietly. No rushing. Good bankers move slowly. Bad bankers move fast. Former investigators notice things. Good professionals share habits. Your son contacted us 3 weeks ago, Melissa said. Linda inhaled sharply. I didn't. Expected. Expected hurts differently. He requested information related to home equity access options. Using my name. Yes. Without authorization. Correct. Patricia took notes. Melissa continued. He also attempted to submit preliminary documentation related to financial authority. Power of attorney. Yes. Rejected. Not immediately. Interesting. Very interesting. Explain. Melissa looked uncomfortable. Good. Uncomfortable usually means truth. The document entered internal review. Why? Signature inconsistencies. Good, good, very good. He called twice after that, Melissa continued. When? November 3rd. Then? November 10th. Pressure. Building pressure. Debt squeezing. Panic accelerating. Human behavior. Predictable. He sound nervous? Linda asked. Melissa hesitated. Melissa, I said. Yes. Nervous. Desperate. Silence. Heavy. Patricia closed her folder. Jagger. We need to assume he'll try again. I know. No. Patricia leaned forward. I don't think you do. Interesting. What? People under financial pressure escalate. Cold moved through me. Sharp, familiar. Investigator instinct. Escalation. Yes. Exactly. I agree, I said quietly. Melissa folded her hands. We placed temporary review flags on your accounts. Good. Additional authentication required. Good. No lending movement without direct confirmation. Good. Thank you. Your wife would have yelled at me if I didn't. Diane, God, even 5 years gone. Still organizing my life from the afterlife. Funny woman, smart woman. Missed her every day. Phone vibrated. Ethan. Of course. 3 missed calls. 1 voicemail. I ignored all of it. Call him, Patricia said. What? Call him. No. Yes. No. Jagger. No. Call him. I hated when smart people agreed with me. Why? Because scared people reveal information. Former investigator, former attorney, same disease, pattern, strategy, pressure. I called. 1 ring, immediate answer. Dad? Breathing hard, car noise, movement, stress, good. Yeah? Where are you? Why? Dad? Why? Pause, tiny, useful. Dad, please. No. I've been trying to call. I noticed. We need to talk. Okay? Silence. What? When? When what? When do you want to talk? Pause. Longer. Thinking. Calculating. Good. Today. What time? Now? Interesting. Immediate. Pressure? Good. Busy. Dad. Busy. Please. Voice breaking. Real. Human. Complicated. I'm trying to fix this. No. Please. No. Dad? Where are you? Silence. Long. Important. Because silence reveals. I asked first? No. Silence again. Then, North Branch. Everything inside me went still. North Branch. North Branch. No. 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 Melissa looked up instantly. She knew. Patricia knew. I knew. North Branch, loan processing, commercial lending, home equity services, North Branch. Dad. Silence. Dad! I hung up. Melissa already moving. Phone in hand, calling, fast, professional, Patricia standing. Jagger? I know. No sudden emotion? I know. No confrontation. I know. No yelling. I know. Linda stood. I swear if anybody says I know one more time. Nobody laughed. 22 minutes later, North Branch. Gray sky, cold wind, November Spokane. Parking lot half full. Black SUV, white truck, blue sedan, dark gray BMW X5. Ethan. Of course. Funny thing. People under pressure stop adapting. They cling to routine, predictable. Former investigators love predictable. Melissa led. Professional badge, professional walk. No drama, good. Drama destroys evidence. Bank quiet inside. Tuesday morning. 3 customers. Young couple opening checking account. Older woman cashing checks. Man wearing contractor jacket arguing softly about fees. Normal. Ordinary. Always ordinary. Melissa moved toward lending offices, glass walls, private desks. Quiet. Then I saw him. Ethan. Sitting across from loan officer desk. Folder open, pen in hand, talking, explaining, selling. My son always could sell. Inherited that from Diane. Not me. He looked up. Saw me. Everything changed. Face, eyes, breathing, world. Dad? Soft, barely sound. Loan officer turned, confused. Melissa stepped forward. Professional calm. Ethan. Silence. Sharp silence. We need to pause this process. No movement. No denial, nothing. Interesting. Very interesting. Because guilty people often freeze first. Ethan. Melissa said quietly. No response. I walked closer. Slow, steady, no anger. Not yet. Folder sitting open. Power of attorney. Loan application. Estimated access amount. $192,800. Almost exactly enough. Debt, pressure, survival, God. Ethan. He looked up. Eyes red. No sleep, fear, human fear. Dad, please. Not here. Not now. Not like this. Funny thing. I almost felt bad. Almost. Then I saw the signature page. My signature. Wrong. Again. Tiny mistake. Letter P. Pressure line. Stroke angle. Wrong. Arrogance. Greed. Sloppiness. Former investigators survive on sloppiness. Loan officer looked confused. Melissa calm. Patricia quiet. Watching. Waiting. Professional predators? Legal predators. Good ones. Did you think I wouldn't notice? I asked quietly. Silence. Ethan? Nothing. You forgot something. Tears. Actual tears. Dad? No. Voice calm, cold, sharp. You forgot what I used to do. And suddenly, for the first time since this started, my son Ethan, Perry realized he wasn't sitting across from an aging father. He was sitting across from 36 years of experience learning exactly how desperate people make desperate mistakes. And this time, he'd signed his own paper trail. There's a moment after something breaks when nobody knows what shape life is supposed to take next. Movies get this wrong. Movies think consequences arrive fast. Real consequences arrive in paperwork, phone calls, meetings, silence. A whole lot of silence. Nobody got arrested that day. I know some of you expected that. Life rarely works that neatly. The lending office inside Spokane Community Credit Union turned painfully quiet after Ethan realized there was nowhere left to run. Not because police walked in. Because truth did. Truth ruins momentum. Loan officer, Melissa, Patricia, me, Linda, Ethan sitting there. 41 years old. Looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. Not physically, spiritually. Like somebody finally turned all the lights on inside a room he'd been hiding in. I didn't take anything, Ethan said quietly. True, mostly. I know. I wasn't trying to steal. Silence and Patricia Sloan folded her hands calmly. You submitted financial authority documents using invalid signatures, she said. I wasn't. You initiated lending discussions connected to property you don't legally control. I was trying to. You created capacity concerns without direct medical findings. That's not, Ethan. Her voice stayed calm. Professional. Worse than yelling. Professional disappointment cuts differently. I know you're scared, Patricia said. That surprised him. You could see it? Fear expects anger. Kindness confuses fear. I know debt changes how people think. Silence. I know pressure changes judgment. Silence. But pressure doesn't erase responsibility. Nobody spoke. Not even Linda, which felt unnatural. Linda usually spoke every 6 seconds. Then Ethan looked at me. Really looked. And for the first time in days, I didn't see manipulation. I saw exhaustion. Real exhaustion. I couldn't breathe anymore, he said quietly. No one interrupted. I woke up every morning thinking maybe today would be the call. What call? Linda asked softly. Collections? Silence. The lawsuit. Silence. The payroll problem. Silence. The next thing. His voice cracked. Small. Human. Complicated. You should have come to me. I know. No. My voice came out sharper. You don't. I do. No. He lowered his eyes. You know what hurt? I asked quietly. No answer. You built paperwork before conversation? Nothing. You built plans before trust? Nothing. You built exits before honesty? Tears. Actual tears, not dramatic, not movie tears. The quiet kind. The dangerous kind. Because quiet pain lasts longer. Melissa cleared her throat gently. We placed permanent protection flags on your accounts, she told me. Good. Dual authentication requirements. Good. Power of attorney restrictions. Good. Additional monitoring. Good. Former investigator brain appreciated systems. Systems protect people. People fail, systems help. Sometimes. Patricia spoke next. I strongly recommend updated estate documents. I know. Medical directives. I know. Financial protections. I know. Linda finally spoke. Can I recommend pie? Nobody laughed. Again. Strange day. Adult Protective Services contacted Patricia 2 days later. Hospital documentation got reviewed. Capacity concerns got reviewed. Social worker notes got reviewed. Nothing criminal. Important distinction. No grand conspiracy. No forged medical diagnosis. No secret corruption. Just a son. Scared. Drowning. Making selfish choices. Dangerous choices. Pressure choices. Pressure makes people justify ugly things. I'll fix it later. I'll explain after. They'll understand eventually. People build entire disasters using eventually. Ethan hired his own attorney. Good move. Necessary move. Patricia handled my side. Professional. Sharp. Cold when needed. Kind when possible. Linda kept showing up. Every day. Coffee, food, unsolicited opinions. You eating vegetables? Yes. Liar. Partially. Vegetables don't include ketchup. Debatable. You look terrible. You're glowing. You're impossible. Yet lovable. Debatable. Some things survive disasters. Thank God. 3 weeks later, I changed locks. Not because Ethan threatened me, because trust changed shape, hard truth, painful truth, necessary truth. I updated paperwork, will, medical directives, financial authorization. Patricia walked me through everything. Slowly, carefully. Diane would have approved, she said once. That almost broke me. Funny. You survive betrayal, paperwork, lawyers, hospitals, debt, manipulation. Then one sentence about your dead wife catches you sideways in a quiet office on a Thursday afternoon. Grief never fights fair. Linda drove me home that day. Cold December air. Christmas lights starting to appear around Spokane. Families moving toward holidays. Life continuing. Always continuing. You okay? Linda asked. No. Good. What? Means you're normal. Normal. Funny word. Nothing about this felt normal. Then, 2 weeks before Christmas, letter arrived, handwritten, Ethan. I stared at it 30 minutes before opening. Cowardly, human, both. Inside 3 pages. No excuses. Interesting. No blame. More interesting. No manipulation. Most interesting. Just truth, messy truth, scared truth, human truth. He wrote about debt, pride, shame, pressure, how he convinced himself helping me and helping himself could become the same thing. How easy that lie became. How fast. One sentence stayed with me. I stopped seeing you as my father and started seeing you as the answer to my problems. God, that hurt. Not because it surprised me, because part of me understood. And understanding hurts differently. You know what's strange loving somebody after they hurt you. People think pain erases love. Doesn't. Makes it heavier. Harder to carry, but still there. Always still there. Christmas came, snow, cold. Linda forced me to attend dinner. Patricia even showed up briefly. We laughed, ate too much, argued over football. Linda burned rolls, denied burning rolls. Evidence clearly supported burning rolls. Former investigator, occupational damage. Around 8 that night, I stepped outside. Snow falling lightly. Cold enough to sting. Beautiful enough to forgive it. Diane would have loved it. I stood there thinking. About Ethan. About pressure. About mistakes. About trust. About age. Funny thing. Getting older doesn't make you weaker. Makes you visible. People project things onto older people. Fragile. Confused. Replaceable. Manageable. Big mistake. Age doesn't erase experience. Experience compounds. Like interest. Quiet. Invisible. Powerful. My phone buzzed. Message. Ethan. Simple. 3 words. Merry Christmas, Dad. No manipulation. No pressure. No asking. Just Merry Christmas, Dad. I stared at it. Cold night. Snow falling. House behind me warm. Life imperfect. Still broken. Still healing. I didn't answer. Not yet. Some bridges rebuild slowly. Some should, some have to. But standing there under Spokane snowfall, I realized something. I won. Not because Ethan lost. Not because paperwork protected me. Not because plans failed. I won. Because they almost convinced me I was becoming helpless. Almost. And almost matters. Because almost isn't finished. Almost still leaves room to stand back up. And I did. People think endings arrive with certainty. Music swelling, lessons learned, hugs, forgiveness, credits rolling. Real life doesn't end like that. Real life leaves dishes in the sink. Voicemails unanswered. Old wounds healing slower than pride wants them to. 3 months after Christmas, Spokane started thawing. Winter loosened its grip. Snow melted into sidewalks. Neighborhood kids came back outside. My silver Ford F-150 still started hard on cold mornings. My niece still predicted weather better than meteorologists. Life kept doing what life does. Moving. Whether you're ready or not. I answered Ethan's text eventually. Not Christmas. Not New Year's. February. 2 months later. Simple message. Hope you're doing all right? That's all. No speech, no lecture, no emotional fireworks. Just a door cracked open 1 inch. Healing doesn't begin with trust. It begins with willingness. Important difference. Ethan found work. Not glamorous work, not ownership, not boss work. Project estimating for another construction company over near Post Falls. Steady paycheck, smaller apartment. Sold the BMW. That one surprised me. You know, pride starts changing when someone willingly gives up status symbols. He called once in March. We talked 7 minutes. Weather, basketball, traffic, nothing important. Which somehow made it important. No money conversation, no guilt conversation, no pressure, just father. Son. Awkward, human, complicated. The way real repair starts. Slow, uncomfortable, honest. I still changed everything legally. No apology changes wisdom. Patricia Sloan updated every document, medical directives, financial authority, trust protections, backup contacts. Linda somehow ended up listed as emergency contact. Terrifying development. You realize this gives me power, she told me. I regret everything. You should. You'll abuse authority. Correct. You'll weaponize vegetables. Absolutely. Good friends save your life. Sometimes quietly. Sometimes by refusing to leave. Linda kept doing both. Spring came. Riverside Diner kept serving coffee that somehow tasted both terrible and perfect. Booth 7 stayed hours. One Thursday morning, Linda slid paperwork across the table. What's this? Volunteer application. No. Yes. No. Yes. I hate volunteering. No, you don't. I absolutely do. No. Turned out she was right. Annoying woman. Patricia connected us with a regional elder financial protection group. Mostly education, prevention, awareness, helping older adults understand financial pressure, fraud risks, power of attorney abuse, predatory behavior, family manipulation, important work, necessary work. First meeting, I almost left. Truth. Room full of people carrying stories. Heavy stories. Worse stories. Woman whose nephew emptied savings. Man pressured into signing property transfers. Retired teacher manipulated by family. Veteran financially isolated by relatives. Good people. Broken trust. Complicated love. Human mess. Funny thing. Pain feels smaller when shared. Not because it matters less. Because you realize you're not carrying it alone. One afternoon in April, older man named Raymond sat beside me after a meeting. 74, former mechanic. Hands looked like they'd fought engines professionally for decades. My daughter did something similar, he said quietly. I nodded. Didn't push. People tell stories when ready. Not before. I kept thinking loving her meant saying yes. Silence ran on mine. I was wrong. Yeah, I understood that. Completely. Loving people doesn't mean surrendering judgment. Doesn't mean surrendering boundaries. Doesn't mean surrendering yourself. Age taught me that. Pain confirmed it. May arrived. Warmer weather, longer evenings. Diane's roses started growing again beside the fence. Linda helped. Mostly because apparently plants require effort and responsibility. Overrated concepts. One Sunday afternoon, truck pulled into my driveway. Dark blue pickup. Ethan. Heart did something uncomfortable. Funny. No matter how old your children get, part of you always recognizes headlights. He stepped out. Looked thinner. Healthier somehow. Less polished. More real. Held something in his hand. Small cardboard box. Hey, he said. Hey. Silence. Birds. Wind moving trees. Spokane Spring. Quiet. I found these, he said. Box. Old photographs. Garage storage. Diane. Family trips. Fishing pictures. High school football. One photo, Ethan, age 10. Missing front tooth. Holding trout he caught near Liberty Lake. Biggest smile I'd ever seen. I thought you should have them, he said quietly. Thank you. Silence. Long, awkward, human. How's work? Good. Good. Truck's still making that weird noise. Truck's older than some marriages. Small laugh. Good progress. Tiny but real. Then I was angry at you. Truth. Good. I know. No? He looked down. You don't? Interesting. I thought you never believed in me. Wind moved softly across driveway. Warm spring air, birds, life, ordinary. Again, I believed in you too much, I said quietly. He looked up, confused. Dad? I thought you'd ask. Silence. I thought if things got bad enough. Silence. You'd ask. His eyes filled. Again, human, complicated. Dad? No. Silence. Then, I'm sorry. Funny thing about apologies. Real ones don't sound polished. They sound uncomfortable. Fragile. Honest. I know, I said quietly. Not forgiveness. Not complete. Truth, just truth. He left 30 minutes later. No dramatic ending. No perfect repair. No movie ending, just progress. Slow. Awkward. Real. Something still hurt. Trust rebuilds slower than damage. Always will. But healing doesn't require perfection. Only movement. Before I finish, I need you to understand something. If you're older, you are not weak because you need help. You are not difficult because you ask questions. You are not paranoid because you protect yourself. And if somebody pressures you to move faster than your comfort allows, pay attention. Love respects boundaries. Control hates them. And if you're younger, call your parents. Tell the truth sooner. Pride grows expensive. Silence grows expensive. Ask before pressure turns you into somebody you barely recognize. Life teaches strange lessons. Mine taught this: trust people, love people, help people, but never surrender your voice. Never surrender your judgment. And never assume growing older means becoming smaller, because experience matters, wisdom matters, you matter. If this story meant something to you, join our community by hitting that like button and subscribing for more real, raw, and family-centered stories. Drop a comment below and tell us, have you ever been in a situation like this? We read every single one. And as always, thank you for being a part of this.